Hi, welcome to DublinChatOnlineTV with Stephen Lynch. Now I'm here on the streets of Dublin today to talk about a very interesting question that's been playing on my mind a lot lately, which is what the Irish people think about the Irish Health Service.
I think things are going down the toilet with the HSE at the moment. It's pretty awful. They need complete overhaul, and I'm not sure that there's anybody there competent enough to do it. Certainly not the current management.
I do know that people are in hospitals, lying on corridors and all. I haven't been there myself, so I think that's pretty awful. But
yeah, I don't know. I just really feel that maybe things like to do with health and stuff should really be being completely privatised away from the government to solve some problems. I know we don't really have the money, but I think that's the only way that the people's voices are really going to be heard.
Probably have an opinion, to be honest, because unless you're in it, you don't really feel it. And when you end up in it, whether you're sick or family members are sick, you only realise when you actually have examples of it. It's like recently been in it myself, and it's horrible. So unless you have VHI or private healthcare, it's a bit of a nightmare, to be honest.
Well, I think they're doing a very good job with difficult circumstances. There's a lot of changes again that have to be made, but it's a question of the right changes being made without hitting frontline services, because I think any experience that I've had with the HSE or with the health services, they've been excellent at the front line. It's a question of what's being spent behind the scenes, whether that's relevant or not.
I don't know, I think they shouldn't really be taken from education or the health sector. I think money should be put into education and the health sector because it's needed.
I've had occasion in the last couple of months to deal with the health service. I found them absolutely fabulous. Trouble is, there's too many bureaucrats in it. The frontline staff are incredible.
I don't know, they seem to be making a few silly decisions about some places, but closing down hospitals and stuff near Louth, where I am, but I don't know. It doesn't seem too good.
Don't know a lot about it. I don't know a lot about it.
It's just not what it should be, for the importance that it deserves, and it's just all on par with the government troubles and everything, and it's just not what people deserve and not what the Irish people deserve and things.
I have no great regard for the Irish medical system. Both my parents died of cancer and my brother, and I was with them on that difficult journey, and even 4 or 5 years ago, palliative care was dreadful. Consultant-patient dialogue just wasn't, didn't exist. If you didn't have somebody to interface, an older person, say, that wouldn't have the wherewithal to make their case, it was very, very difficult. And my parents were both, they got a lot of support from the family, and they were still very, very poorly treated, and their care was very, very poor. And I said that was 4 or 5 years ago. I don't think anything's improved since then.
Health is probably the most important factor that concerns us all. But it's only when it comes to your door that you realise that.
Actually had an emergency last week, and it's all over the place, to be honest. It was chaos in there, and
they're not getting it right. If the papers are to be believed, you're talking about the redundancies that have taken place so far in the health service have all come from the frontline staff as against the admin staff. So that doesn't augur well, I think, for the future if you're going to lose all of that frontline staff in terms of how people are treated in hospital.
Well, we've never really had a great health service. It's consistently moving towards privatisation as well. We're following an American route rather than maybe a British route. Going down an NHS style service would be a little better if we could afford it. But don't think we can really.
Oh, I'm not really sure now. It's a bit of a difficult question, but I don't think very well, no.
Compared to different other countries, it's really bad, the health service in England is all free, where we've got to pay. Too much goes into administration, they don't focus on what they're actually trying to achieve,
it's not just the health service, I think, that's affecting people's health. I actually work in the health service, and I'm finding that a lot of the cutbacks are affecting people, their housing's been affected, their welfare's been affected, and it's having a major impact on people's mental health as well as on their physical health. They can't afford to live in as good accommodation or eat as well as they have previously, and I think it's going to have really big implications, say 10 years down the line.
They're not dealing with it, they're not using their head. The priorities is A&E, they're closing this, they're closing that, nursing homes. For instance, the medical card, €50. It's €1 a week, but for a lot of people, because they're getting prescription drugs, and they want to put that to $250, and if you're on 6 medications, it adds up. If you're on the basic welfare, is $180, and you got your rent, ESB, all these essentials. and then they want to put this on again. No, it's not on.
It seems to be getting a lot of bad press, but yeah, if you talk to people that have been looked after in the hospitals, they would tell you that once you get in, it's fantastic. It seems to be getting into the water, you know. But as soon as you're in, I think it's okay.
So
the health system has been in total disaster for a long time. Even in the days like sort of, you know, the so-called boom when we had money, the health system was a complete disaster. There's a huge amount of money being wasted in the HSE that doesn't need to be wasted. You can go to a hospital any day of the week and you'll see it. You can talk to anybody that's in long-term care under the HSE, that they will tell you about the amount of money that's been wasted. Like sort of, you know, they're looking after the pennies, like sort of, you know, while they're wasting the pounds.
How do
I think that
what do we think?
I think we're queuing up to see Santa on 60th birthday, that's my thing.
So, there you have it. Stick with Dublin Chat Online TV with me, Stephen Lynch, Dublin, Ireland.